Well, I'm gonna say an event that inspired me, and this was actually my first SHPE conference ever. It was a life-changing experience because I've never in my wildest life would have imagined so many Latino engineers all together concentrated in one spot and so many companies out there wanting to hire you. In my world, I grew up in a very small city, Linden, Jersey, and this whole idea that there's another world outside of you, it doesn't exist. We grew up in a bubble. I grew up in a bubble. Our whole world is just whatever's around us. In my mind, I was gonna end up working probably, there's a Chevron refinery right there. I'm gonna work there probably because I'm an engineer, so that's an engineering company, I'll work there. I didn't know this whole world existed outside of what was around my environment. That thing, seeing how many companies are out there, how many people are out there that you meet, that just changed my world around because there were so many people around me who I eventually was like, wow, you know what? I want to be an officer now on my shipboard at Rutgers. I want to be a professional who's recruiting now for those companies. I want to be the one who's giving one of those workshops at the SHPE conference now. That immediately became my vision once I attended that conference. And sure enough, little by little, I started doing things and I started becoming exactly what that I wanted to be at that conference. I became a professional working at Boeing. I became a professional recruiting for Boeing at the SHPE conference and now recruiting for Raytheon at the SHPE conference. I became a person who goes out now to the different SHPE chapters, giving workshops, giving presentations. I became everything that I got inspired to be at the first conference I went to. So it was an event that just blew my mind in terms of what is out there in the world. And any goals I may have had of just being only an engineer, it completely changed. Because now I want to be an engineer who does what they do, who gives back, who comes back and has conversations with people, who comes back and just randomly look at a resume and, hey, here's a little bit of advice what you can do to make this better. You meet somebody, you shake hands with them and just, hey, let me tell you a little bit about what I do as an engineer. Okay, well, 10 years later, I'm the one who's telling people, this is what I do as an engineer now. So it's a lot more to just being an engineer, right? You want to be an engineer, you want to give back as much as you can, as much as you've learned. And that was an event that just completely put me into that field. Because if it wasn't for that, I might have just been a 9-to-5 engineer and gone home with my life.